Hey folks, it's Matt once again. And man, I got a doozy for you. Oh my god, Volume 2, the top 50 incidents in WCW history. Now I know a lot of people say, and in a way they're right, that when WWF talks about WCW, they kind of do it looking down on them, looking down on that company, which is a shame. But this is still a very fun set, and there was a lot of crazy moments. And I would say I like this one, but I had more fun watching this because I was less familiar with WCW than WWF, and it kind of makes me want to watch WCW, especially those last few crazy as hell years of the before it closed down in 2001. But even then, I mean, a lot of crazy stuff in this business, WCW. For example, okay, going through it. And like these, I kind of knew a lot of the stuff, but these I didn't know much because I'm not the most familiar with WCW. So it was definitely a fun trip down well, I can't even say memory lane. I watched a little bit, but not a lot of this stuff. Like number 50, Junkyard Brawl, 1999, where they filmed it so far away with like a spotlight. It was dark, so you could barely see what's going on. And there's also fire, and whoever escapes the junkyard wins. I'm like, holy shit. Number 49, Canadian Hacksaw, where Hacksaw Jim Duggan went away from America and was with Canada, as if that was such a bad thing, and yeah, it didn't really work out. Number 48, Warrior, coming into WCW and things not working out. I like that this is before Ultimate Warrior passed away, because he actually did to have a few words on it and why it didn't work out and such. Which it could have, but the match that him and Hogan had was just terrible. Very bad match. So that didn't help matters. And that was the build-up where, and also like all they could do with Ultimate Warrior is that he comes in, there's just like fog and mist and shit. It's like, it's not really. That's Undertaker stuff. That's not really Warrior stuff. Number 47, a 49ers match. Literally, like, I feel bad for Booker T because I like Booker T, and he became champion like the shittiest moments of WCW because like, he's faced off against I think Jeff Jarrett or someone like that. And the match, this is when Vince Russo, he came in after they pretty much fired Eric Bischoff, and Vince Russo is like, oh, I need crazy ideas so that people don't get bored and they're not watching the same thing every week. So he would have stuff like this where there's 4 boxes and you have to find the gold because the belt is in one of the boxes. But in the others, one is supposed to be weapons, but one's a blow-up doll. One's some type of glove. One, I love Booker T's expression because he looks like, and it's a picture of Razor Ramon. And then when Booker T got to the 4th box, he's trying to open it, and the belt just falls off from the bottom of the box. It's just like That's what I'm talking about. Like, this was a lot of fun to watch. Number 46, King of the Road. Dustin Rhodes, before he was Goldust, he was in WCW because he's the son of Dusty Rhodes. So he was wrestling as Dustin Rhodes. And he's wrestling in the back of a moving vehicle with this other guy. And the back of a farming, I don't know, think of a semi-truck, but the semi-truck is all cleared except for a bunch of hay and stuff in there. And little pieces of metal. And pretty much have to, as the whole time this truck is driving throughout the roads, they have to wrestle and get to this this blowhorn in order to honk it, and they win the match. Very weird. Number 45, Vince Russo coming in and saying we're going to reset and strip everyone of the titles. We're going to start anew, which, you know, I think made people be like, well, you know, what the hell's going on here? What's going on? What's happening? Apparently they didn't know what they were doing, and they were right. Number 44, Chucky. Yes, in 1998, Chucky was in WCW on a screen threatening Rich Steiner. And Rich Steiner was supposed to be scared of Chucky. And they actually had Brad Dourif voicing it. He's just like number 43 was a moment where they had the bright idea to make Bill Goldberg, who was very hot, and of course hot means successful, folks, turning heel, turning bad guy, which was a really stupid decision, but that's what they did. Number 42, this was a fun moment. Fake La Parka, which is there was a guy with a mask face off against Macho Man Randy Savage. And at the time, he was having a feud with DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. So DDP had the bright idea of, oh, I'm going to wear this guy's outfit. He's going to think I'm this sort of jobber type of guy. Maybe not jobber, but, you know, this other guy. And then I'm going to give him the Diamond Cutter, which is pretty much what Randy Orton's move is now. And unmasked, it's me, it's DDP, and I pinned Macho Man, and that was a fun moment. That was definitely a very fun moment. I like that. I always liked Diamond Dallas Page. Number 41, from 1985, actually, old WCW. The Four Horsemen, including Ric Flair, pretty much them breaking, you know, for story-wise, breaking Dusty Rhodes' leg. And the crowd was so pissed off that there was a steel cage. The fans were climbing on the cage. And it took them like an hour to leave because people were like trying to get in and were climbing the cage like it's a riot. Definitely, holy shit, a fun thing to watch. Number 40, Jericho's challenge. This is when Chris Jericho, of course, was at WCW. He's like, oh, I want Goldberg. And then he's like, you know, I'll have this fake little guy be Goldberg and beat him. See, where are you, Goldberg? See, I beat you, and I have my own streak of beating you. And he hired his own bodyguard. He's like this big, you know, fat guy who's his bodyguard. That was a lot of fun. Number 39, litigation. This is the moment where Vince Russo and Hulk Hogan had a argument, and they both have different sides to their story, but pretty much Jeff Jarrett comes in, lays down for Hogan, literally lays down, and Hogan's like, what the hell's going on? Pins him, and it's like, you know, Russo, you know, this is why the company's in this shit that is in the condition is today. And then Vince Russo, when he left, saying, you know, you'll never see that piece of shit here ever again. Just shows that the company was crumbling down at that point. Number 38, helicopter. Steen's entrance, where he's in a helicopter and he rappels all the way down from a helicopter. That's a pretty cool entrance. This is when he had the crow type of makeup for Steen. Number 37, a forklift match. This guy, Buff Bagwell, his mom was tied up on a forklift, and if he won the match, he could get his mom off the forklift, who was tied to the forklift. Yeah, Jesus. Number 36, the debut of Monday Nitro, which is where Lex Luger, who was at WWF, he made a surprise appearance. Definitely a way to start off your debut of Nitro. Number 36. Number 35, Sid Justice. Like his cars, I guess Goldberg damaged his cars, and Sid's just going, "Why me? Why me?" Hilarious. Why me? Why me? It's like this is the TV version of Robocop. So fuck me is why me? Why me? Jesus Christ. Number 34, Electric Chair. This is like Halloween Havoc 1991. And this is like a match. And like Mick Foley, when he was in WCW, was in it. And Steen. And I think Vader. And some other people. Abdullah the Butcher. And the whole point is who to get their opponent in this electric chair. And then flip the switch and electrocute them. But actually, I have fun with the match, because in this 2 or 3, they have the whole match on there. I have fun with the match, but it's... I can understand why you wouldn't do that kind of stuff again. Especially a moment where you see that the switch fucked up, because without no one touching it, the switch goes down. And then Mick Foley's like, oh shit, he's got to put it back up again, so that he can... So it is hilarious to watch, but it wasn't supposed to be that funny. Number 33, I guess like they did these little movies to promote stuff. Like there's one there like Steen and Jake the Snake Roberts, and one that had Vader, and one that had like Steen and the British Bulldog. I think it was British Bulldog. Like buy a boat, and like someone puts a bomb, they run, and the boat explodes. Like these little movies that I never knew about, so that was interesting. Number 30, Vampiro. This guy was against Steen in a match that whoever lights the other guy on fire first wins. And then Steen loses because he gets lit on fire. Okay. Number 29, Ambush. Back in 1986, again, the Four Horsemen going up against Dustin Rhodes. They follow with a video camera, which for 1986, that was rare thing to do, that you have someone following someone else with a video camera, surprising him, attacking him, and fuck up Dusty Rhodes. Number 28, Vince Russo winning the WCW title, which is crazy. And it's like he wins it, but it's because Goldberg speared Vince Russo through the steel cage, and technically he was the first one out, so he wins. But I'm like, how many times has Vince McMahon won the championship? He's won it more than once. I know one at the Royal Rumble and one on, I think, SmackDown or such. And, you know, how many times did, hell, Stephanie McMahon win the women's title? So, you know, they did that, which they didn't put in their oh my god moments. Oh my god, Vince McMahon won the title more than once, but that's what I mean. Sometimes it seems like they're picking on WCW more than as if WWF never, or WWE never did anything stupid. But number 27, this is actually a pretty cool one, where Goldberg was facing off against Bret the Hitman Hart. And Goldberg speared Bret Hart, but then Goldberg's knocked out, and Bret Hart gets up, and he lifts his shirt, and he actually has a metal plate underneath, because he knew that Goldberg would spear him there, and that to keep him safe and knock out Goldberg, so that was pretty smart. And yeah, they didn't use Bret Hart much in that WCW, which was stupid of them. Number 26... this is when the Scott Hall and Kevin Nash was first getting the WCW, before the NWO was formed, and they do this power bomb on Eric Bischoff, you know, showing, oh my god, these guys are dangerous, and they really are the outsiders. You know, not much to say about that. Number 25, the Finger Poke of Doom. I think this is the same night that Mick Foley won the championship. So that guy's winning the championship, and then on here, it's a really bullshit match where Hulk Hogan just does this to Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash falls down. Hogan pins him, and it's like, oh, yeah, we did. We screwed everybody, didn't you? And I'm like, yeah, you screwed a lot of your fans who thought that was really stupid. Especially for a matchup people were looking forward to. Kevin Nash versus Hulk Hogan. And by this time, Kevin Nash had beaten Goldberg. So Kevin Nash beat Goldberg in a cheating way with an electric prod. Or I think that's actually coming up later in the list. And I'm like, wow. And then you just give him a middle finger. Again, it's the same night that Mankind won the championship in a really cool moment. And like that's when people started going more and more to WWF. So there you go. Number 24, pretty much showing a really cool cruiserweight match between Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio Jr. It really is a good match. It's on one of the disc 2 or disc 3. It's on one of them. It is a really good match. I think Halloween Havoc. Let's see. Number 23. This is a really good one. I really like this. Where you think DDP is going to join the NWO. They give him an NWO shirt. Scott Hall shakes his hand. Scott Hall's going like this, but then DDP pulls the hand back and quickly gives him the diamond cutter. And then runs off. Giving the middle. Pretty much fucking with the NWO and getting the better of the NWO. That was a fun moment. That was definitely a good moment. Number 22, a segment that even Mick Foley admits was pretty stupid, where he had gotten hurt and he was supposed to have amnesia and lost for weeks in Cleveland, and they find him and he's like shaven, but he's got dirt on him and he thinks he's a sea captain or whatever, or kept. Even Mick Foley says, yeah, that was really stupid. I don't know what they were thinking with that. I think he even says, that's really lame. And they're like, well, you get this much time off and get paid for it. Oh, that's really genius. But number 21, this was a fun moment where it was Roddy Piper and Ric Flair having a one-on-one and saying that Ric Flair is, you're too crazy, you gotta go to the mental asylum. And because Ric Flair's like, I'm the president of the United States. No, WCW. WCW. And like, Ric Flair in a mental asylum and having fun. And that's a very fun segment. I do like that. Number 20, Pinata. Again, one of those stupid Vince Russo things where a bunch of people we don't know trying to fight over these pinatas to open these pinatas, and I don't know what the whole deal was. And they even mentioned how the commentary didn't even talk about anybody in the match. They just kept talking about anything but the match. Which just sucks. That match. Number 19. There's this wrestler called Dean Malenko who unfortunately didn't go on to too much in WWF. But yeah, I always liked him. He always seemed like a cool guy. Seemed like a man of few words type of guy. And he lost to Chris Jericho and many times. And he's like, where are you going? Home. And he left. Then he comes back and he kind of does the DDP thing where he's dressed himself as a luchador and he's gone into this battle royal that who's ever the last one will face Chris Jericho. And then when he's the last one in there, he unmasks and then beats Chris Jericho and wins the match. So I thought that was a fun moment. That was a lot of fun. Number 18, Parking Lot Mess, 1996. This is when the Outsiders at the end was really getting into their Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, and they're just beating people up in the parking lot. They throw Rey Mysterio. His head slams into this wall. And I can understand. It's like, oh, it seems like they are invading. It seems like maybe this could be real, that sort of thing. So that was pretty good thinking at the beginning of it. Number 17, Garbage. Yeah, this is when I've talked about this a few times, where the woman who was women's champion went over to WCW and dropped the WWF Women's Champ belt and the garbage. And from what I understand, it was Eric Bischoff's idea, but still, she should not have done that. She should have said no. Number 16, that's the one I was talking about, 16, where the Goldberg, who was very popular at this time, had the streak of being undefeated. It lost. Kevin Nash was ahead of booking, and his booking was, I'm going to win the title for myself, which was stupid. And it's going to lose by, not in a fair fight, but Scott Hall is going to use a cattle prod on Goldberg, and then I'm going to pin Goldberg, and that's how I win. And then, when was that? December 27, 1998. Yeah, then the week after, January 4th, 1999, was the Finger Poke of Doom. So think about those 2 weeks. On 1 week, you beat Goldberg's streak with a stupid cattle prod, and it's not even a fair fight, and you win, you beat the streak in a cheap way. I mean, even the Undertaker streak being beaten, I don't think it was in a cheating way. It was meant to be a moment. They made it look like a moment. They played it off like a moment. This didn't. And then the week after is just, oh yeah. So I just didn't work. Number 15, Trailblazer. This guy named Ron Simmons. And it made me feel sorry because Ron Simmons, when he died in WWF, they did nothing with him. Like the first time he comes in with this stupid blue helmet, like a fucking, looks like might as well be called Condom Man or something, or fucking Smurf. And then he became Farouk, then became APA or whatever, and all he did was damn. He said damn. I'm like, that's all people remember him now is damn. But you're watching this, it's like this guy was a champion. He won the belt. He was the first black champion, at least in WCW. And people looked up to him, and he was a hero. He seemed like a good guy. He seemed like he could work in the ring. And I'm like, wow, he was all this. And then he went to WWF as just put a fucking silly blue helmet, then make him Farouk. Nation Domination, which The Rock totally eclipsed. And then once in a while he comes up and says, damn. That's just really sad, but especially when you look at this. Number 14, The Decision. That's when Sting, will he choose WCW? Will he choose NWO? And that's where he got the crow type of makeup. So that was definitely a cool addition. I definitely remember that. That's number 14. Number 13, 1989. Almost the start of hardcore because Terry Funk power drives Ric Flair into a table. And that wasn't normal at the time. So you'd almost say that was the start of hardcore wrestling, doing stuff like that. Number 12, Dennis Rodman coming into play, and he comes into play and joins with NWO and Hulk Hogan. Think what you will on Dennis Rodman. Number 11, Parody. This is when Arn Anderson got really hurt. He had to retire. So he had this very emotional speech. Ric Flair and everyone's there. And then the next week, Kevin Nash and them come out and they make fun of it. Which, that wasn't really a cool thing to do. Number 10, the Shockmaster, where they try to debut this new character and he comes in and trips on his ass. Trips on his face. The helmet, which was, it's a fucking Stormtrooper helmet with glitter. That's what it is. It's a Stormtrooper helmet with glitter. But he trips, the helmet falls off, and he puts it on, and it's the same guy that was, I think, Tugboat and then Typhoon in WWF. You know, Earthquake and Typhoon, he was Typhoon. That's this guy. And you hear underneath even British Bulldog's like, oh my god, he fell in his ass, he fell in his fucking ass. But I remember Stone Cold Steve Austin has fun with that clip. Just laughing his ass off. You find it on YouTube. Just type in Stone Cold Shotmaster, and they just have a ball with that. Number 9, David Arquette winning the championship belt, which is part of the stupid promotion for a movie that no one gave a shit about, Ready to Rumble. And I don't think David Arquette wanted to do it. And they actually had David Arquette on there he thought, yeah, it was a cool moment, and, it was cool to do. But I remember hearing that David Arquette didn't want to do that, but they wanted him to do it. They wanted him. Hey, but you got this movie coming out. Come on, David. Come on, David. Be good promotion. It wasn't, but yeah, David Arquette winning the championship is pretty stupid. Number 8. Yeah, number 8. It was the monster truck when Hogan had his match with the Giant, who would be the Big Show in WWF, and before that they had this sumo truck match, monster truck match, which was to say fucking boring because it's just 2 vehicles going like this. That's all the 2 vehicles were doing for like 7-10 minutes. Then okay, Hogan won, and then oh shit, the Giant wants to throw Hogan off the roof, but the Giant falls off the roof into the water. And then like 2 minutes later, enters the match completely not wet, beats up Hulk Hogan, and then this motherfucker called the Yeti, who looks like a mummy, comes out and humps him, and the Giant get between Hulk Hogan and hump Hulk Hogan. Literally, the Yeti comes in. It's called a Yeti, and it's a guy in a mummy suit, comes in and like humps. And you're like watching, like, Jesus Christ Almighty in heaven. And what's nice is throughout all this, you have people being interviewed. And this was a recent one. This is like 2014, I believe. Of course, before Ultimate Warrior passed away. But this came out. This was released in 2014. And yeah, even Hulk Hogan is like, yeah, I don't know why I said yes to it. I don't know what I was in my mind agreeing with it. But it has to be seen to be believed. Number 7, double feature where because Nitro was live, WWF was taped. And the same night you had Rick Rude on WWF as part of DX, and then he appears on Nitro that same night live, because the other one was taped, as part of the NWO. So it was like, wow, Rick Rude is on both shows at the very same time, which was definitely interesting. Number 6, scaffold match in 1986. Really ballsy type of match where it's really high in the air and you have just a scaffold that you're fighting on, and it resulted with Jim Cornette falling, and like you see that his legs look like they got shattered, and he even says that if you hear that, it's still cartilage from way back in 1986 or so. It's just really crazy. Number 5, Goldberg winning the title against Hulk Hogan, and people just cheering, and really loud crowd. I mean, Goldberg was their guy. Number 4, an I Quit match in 1985, which was a really bloody match with this guy named Magnum TA. And it looks like a really bloody match, and seems like a pretty brutal match. And I guess maybe it's one of those early brutal matches in WCW that made me go, oh shit, this is what you can do. Number 3, the debut of Scott Hall and introducing that idea of the outsiders coming in to invade WCW, which of course will lead to the NWO. Number 2, WCW being bought out by WWF. And number 1, of course, Bash at the Beach. Who is the third man? Hulk Hogan turning heel and being the bad guy, thus launching the NWO and thus launching Nitro into beating WWF for like 80 weeks or something like that. As for other stuff, I mean, this too, you do have that scaffold match from '86, the Road Warriors versus the Midnight Express. Did I completely skip that? I completely skipped that, didn't I? Shit, I completely skipped some. Wait a minute. 32 and 31. Wow. I completely skipped that. You know what? This is actually better. I know people are like, well, wait, you skipped this, but just wait. 31. Who's better than Canyon? They had the cage from Ready to Rumble, that 3-tiered cage, and someone taking a big bump. But even someone goes, after what Mankind did in Hell in a Cell, they just is second place. And number 32, there's a reason why I skipped over this. It's Robocop. Robocop, to promote Robocop 2, it's not Peter Weller, but it's Robocop coming in to save Sting. I think it was at Capital Combat. Is the pay-per-view Capital Combat 1990. To save Sting, who's in the steel cage, and Robocop comes in to break him out. And Arn Anderson and stuff run away from Robocop. Jesus Christ. Does he actually have this segment on here? Capital Combat 1990, The Return of Robocop. On this too. That might as well be... You do have the Halloween Havoc match with the electric chair. Cactus Jack versus Big Van Vader. That was a match that will lead into Foley being hurt and his amnesia angle. The Team of the Road match with the vehicle is on here. Dustin Rhodes versus the Blacktop Bully. The Sumo Monster Truck match. And then, yes, also the Hogan versus Giant match with the Yeti and all that stuff. Scott Hall appears on Monday Nitro. Eric Bischoff has an answer for the Outsiders, and that's when he gets powerbombed. Disc 3, the Bash at the Beach, that Hogan turns heel. Sting chooses WCW. The La Parker versus Macho Man, you find out it's actually DDP. That was a fun one. The NWO parody of the Four Horsemen, that retirement speech of Arn Anderson. Goldberg beating Hulk Hogan for the title. Chucky interrupts Rich Steiner. Goldberg spears Bret Hart. Vince Russo hits the reset button. The Sting versus Vampiro, the whoever lights the other on fire match. Jeff Jarrett versus Kevin Nash. Which one was this? Jeff Jarrett versus Kevin Nash. Which one was this? I can't remember. I can't remember which one that is. Buff Bagwell versus Canyon. This is the Buff Bagwell's mom on a forklift match. Booker T versus Vince Russo in a steel cage match. That's when Russo won the championship. Booker T versus Jeff Jarrett. That's the 49ers match with the boxes. So you have a lot of the crazy, stupid stuff on the features, which is fun. I think one thing they should have added was the match where David Arquette won the belt. They should have added that one. But this is a lot of fun to watch. Now maybe WCW fans will be a bit mad because it seems like they're just poking fun at WCW, but it's a lot of stupid stuff as well. This was entertaining. I would say this was insanely entertaining. I'm glad to have this. I would put this above this. Like, I like this, but I really enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun to watch, and maybe it is in the way it's supposed to, but this was just a lot of fun to watch. A lot of fun. So of the two, I would recommend this because I think it's a bit more entertaining. But if you can find both, pick up both. But I thought this was a bit more entertaining than the WCW one. There's a lot of crazy shit. That's just my thoughts. But anyway, I've gone on long enough, 30-some minutes. Thanks for watching. Take care. And I hope they do an Oh My God Volume 3 with ECW. I mean, come on. They gotta. They did WWE. They did WCW. You gotta do ECW. You gotta do the top 50 incidents in ECW because it's ECW. So that'd be even crazy. Get the top 50 incidents of ECW. Of course, some would say almost every show was Oh My God, but I'm gonna get work on it. I really enjoyed this. Or do another, like, the next top 50 or the next top 50 WCW or something like that. I hope they do more of this because I really enjoy those. But either way, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.